Hello, my name is Kalen, and I think about a lot of random things, which is why I'm going to post this video called Random Thoughts. Stupid lawsuits. As you might have heard, McDonald's was sued for selling hot coffee. As stated in my video, Challenge to the World, right now we have the ability to go into any store and buy enough coffee to kill us 20 times over. So if we went into Starbucks and bought enough coffee to give us a heart attack, should our family be able to sue Starbucks for selling something that killed us? 9/10 of a cent. Whenever you go to buy gas, you get charged 9/10 of a cent. So should we be able to sue the gas company for charging us something that the government doesn't make? Or should we be able to sue the government for not making for allowing the gas companies to charge us for something that they don't make? Government spending. Now, I touched on this in my last video, Challenge to the World, but I hear a lot of people talking about government spending and about how we shouldn't spend money on this or we shouldn't spend money on this. But what I don't hear people talking about is how that our current dollar is based on debt. Or to put it another way, every dollar that you have in your pocket is owned to somebody else. And in fact, if we took every dollar out of the circulation and used it to pay off our debt, we would still owe money because of interest. And I do mention just one way that the government, I think actually maybe two. Anyway, just one way that the government could take money that they're spending and use it to save money. Also, I mentioned how the government can take something that they're spending and turn it into an income. God. Now, this is more of a belief, but I personally believe that right now we are trapped in a bubble consisting of time, space, and matter. Now, time and space are kind of connected, but I'm going to ignore that. And God is outside the bubble. No God. I personally believe that until you know everything for 100% fact, there is no logical way that you could say that there is no God. Evolution and creation. I feel that both are beliefs. One is based off of a book, and the other is based off of observations of the natural world. I feel that both can theoretically be true, and although Christians don't necessarily believe that the opposite could theoretically be true, but atheists will normally agree. At this point, neither can be repeated. I feel that both are closed-minded because they cannot look at the other aspect of it without having preconceived notions. Literal Bible. Now, my main problem with following the Bible literally, and I will admit that as in a lot of things, I don't know a lot about the Bible. But my main problem with taking the Bible literally is that the Bible says that as a good Christian, you are supposed to teach people about God and get them to love God. And so that means that so I feel if you're a good Christian and the entire world loves and accepts Jesus Christ, then what is the point of putting the book of Revelations into the book? String theory and the God-computer interface. Now, from my knowledge of string theory, every molecule in the world or in the universe is basically a variation of a string, kind of like a musical note. So, from my belief that God is outside this, then I feel that our universe, and if you buy into multiverses, by extension, those universes, then our universe could be a thought in God's mind, which brings me to my point that it could be that heaven is really a God-computer interface, and that when we die, we basically make a Facebook page, which is our consciousness, okay? And that through the God-computer interface, we can create our own heaven, because having a Facebook page on a computer means that we could go visit each person who died consciousness as well as everything that God's thought about. This would open up an almost unlimited possibility. But anyway, arguments against homosexuality. Now, I feel that no matter how you believe on this topic, I'm sorry, I meant arguments about homosexuality. I feel that no matter how you look at this subject, you would agree that there are some stupid arguments for it or against it. One that I find that a lot of people say that a lot of people argue that are for it is that a good portion of the animal kingdom does it, which is true. But a better portion of the animal kingdom engages in cannibalism or eating their young or any number of things that no normal person would do. The Bible says it's wrong. Now, this is true, but the Bible also says lying is wrong, and you don't see us enacting laws saying that nobody can lie or they're going to go to prison or that, whatever. We do in the courts, but I'm talking about day-to-day life. Things that piss you off about the opposite sex. I think that most people would agree that there are things about the opposite sex that just really piss you off. One thing that I think of is that most men would agree that most men would agree that women don't give us enough sex. And most women would agree that men want nothing but sex all the time, and most of the time can perform only 10 to 30 minutes, and a lot of the time they're not very passionate about it. Which is why I think that using this, whether you believe that you're born a homosexual or not, you could logically see how one could be a homosexual. Adoption. I feel, this ties into the homosexuality thing, but I feel that until there's not one child in the entire world who does not need a parent, then two people, no matter what sex they are, should be able to come together and attempt to raise a child. The Illuminati. I love this subject, just like most controversial or conspiracies, but I feel that if there is an evil organization attempting to take over the world, then they're stupid, because I, for one, can think of so many better ways than what they're doing now. One of them is they could kill 80% of the world by using their corporate media influence and convincing the world that we should all go onto a rocket because there's something coming in the world, and then then the 80% gets launched up into the rocket, and then they just push the explode button. Anyway, that was my video. I'm looking forward to hearing comments or anything about it. Thank you for taking the time to listen.